It has been said that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. How truly said. But I also believe that to anyone's heart, we can go through the stomachs, like I would say even your kids, your spouse. So to win anyone's heart, you have to go through their stomachs. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. What would you do if on a Saturday afternoon, unexpectedly, you have 4 of your best friends who showed up at your place? And on top of that, they are expecting you to entertain them by offering them a couple of drinks and snacks. So unexpected guest and you don't know what to do, what snack to prepare. Okay, you have the beers in the fridge, that's fine. But what about the snacks? They are your best friend and you won't be giving them only peanuts. Today I will share with you my quick and easy recipe, which I call cilantro chutney, or you can call it a dip. Cilantro is a herb of a strong aroma. You can have it everywhere in the local grocery stores. And I will start with the recipe now. So I would say as a rule, always have a couple of medium-sized, fresh, ripe tomatoes in your fridge, a big bunch, bigger than that, of cilantro in your fridge, and a couple of cloves of fresh garlics. Having all these in your fridge, it will be very easy to entertain your friends with a fresh dip for their snacks if you are serving them nachos. First rule is, let's say, because we are talking about 4 friends and yourself, it will be 5 people. So you take 4 tomatoes, wash them and cut them in quarters. No need to remove the seeds. Put them aside. Take the cilantro, you chop the roots, and you rinse thoroughly, because sometimes there are like little dirt or soil, whatever in that. And then 3rd step, peel the garlic and keep it aside. And the 4th step is take your food processor, and this is where you have to be very careful. Don't just throw everything in the food processor. Start by the garlic, followed by the tomatoes, and lastly, the cilantro. Maybe you might be thinking, why the garlic? Garlic tends to be a little bit harder, so I prefer the garlic to be close to the blades of the food processor. After having everything in the food processor, so now turn on the food processor for, let's say, 3 to 5 minutes. Let it spin and spin. After 5 minutes, you switch off the food processor. Before transferring the chutney to a container, just have a look. Sometimes it might be that the tomatoes are still a little bit coarse, or the garlic have not yet been crushed well. So if this is the case, spin the food processor for about 1 minute, and then stop. Open the food processor and pour the chutney in a glass container. Why a glass container and not a plastic container? Because a plastic container, the aroma of the cilantro will make the chutney smell bad. So it's better to have it in a glass container. And of course, you have to add the salt. So if your friends are ready to be served, this is the time when you add the salt. Don't put the salt and you think that after half an hour we will be having the dip. Because if you put the salt before and serve the cilantro chutney in about half an hour, you will notice that the chutney will become a little bit watery, liquefied. So the chutney is ready and you want to serve your friends right away. You put a pinch of salt, not a lot of salt in that. with the strong aroma and the salt, it mixes very well, unless you don't like too much salt. And of course you have to stir, and the cilantro chutney is ready. I have a couple of tips. Like I said before, never put the chutney in a plastic container because of the aroma. The plastic container will smell and the chutney won't taste good. And secondly, never add salt unless you are going to eat it right away. So these are the 2 tips for the cilantro chutney if ever you are having some unexpected guests at your doorsteps. But as a rule, keep the tomatoes, the cilantro or coriander, we say it as well, and the cloves of fresh garlic. In less than 15 minutes, you can have the cilantro chutney ready and serve it with either nachos or crackers. Personally, I like my cilantro chutney on a toast or on pasta. It's really good. It's amazing. It's so tasty. And with less than $10, you have a freshly made cilantro chutney and ready to win the hearts of your friends through their stomachs. Madam Chair, thank you.
1 minute on the timer, please.